Anyway,
Okay.
You know, and we also
Wanna move
lost
on?
another good friend, which is Bazz Ward.
did you know Bazz?
Me personally, I didn't know him. I don't think.
It's a fucker.
Probably met him
You
back
know,
in the ship in Woodall Street. I'm
yeah, he
sure.
used to
I'm
live
sure I
there.
met him. Who was he working with back in those
He did
days?
ELP. He did so
ELP.
many
Well, we
bands.
did gigs with ELP at the Oval and stuff. So
Oh, but
yeah.
he was a roadie years and years before we even knew about
Yeah.
it. He was with the Nice in the '60s,
Yeah.
Eric Clapton, like 1970. He was one of those guys that went back to late rock and roll. Probably he was older than us.
Yeah.
But he was like legendary roadie. The Melody Maker, and of course I've got a copy of this. Did a spread on super roadies. I know I'm funny. I archive stuff. Super roadies, and Dinky Dawson was one of them, and
Yeah,
Bazz
good
was
old
another one.
Dinky.
And these were guys like they were already in the big league when we were kind of scratching it out in Hartlepool. They were already the big time guys. But he was a hard case from Liverpool. I mean, he was always having scraps when he was, but he was a bit careful around me and Wilco because Wilco can handle himself. I'm a wanker, but he had kind of.
We seem to have locked up. Oh yeah, you're back.
Well, what I got to say is when I was back in England in May and June when we were doing all the podcasts for Rock and Roll Rowdies, I called him before I went, and he goes, "Just give me a call when you get here." So when I called him, said I was going to Liverpool, he was like, "No, I'm just too out of it." And we talked about doing some of his interviews and getting some of his stories down, and he was like, "I'd love to, but I'm really effed up," and blah blah blah. So it was on about how he was. I mean, I think one of the most famous ones, Granny, when we went to a gig, and it was it was Southwark or somewhere in London. It was one of those gigs, and I think it was ELP had just played, and you and I'd heard of him dragging Hammonds up with his fucking rope and he's wrapped around his belly. And we look at him and we go, "So, Bazz, what do you want us to do?" He goes, "Get all the shite off the stage." It's like, "Well, wouldn't you like us to help you with that Hammond?" "I fucking got the Hammond, mate." And there he was, fucking dragging the Hammond up on plywood up the steps to get on the first floor. Then he took the elevator down to the dock where he put it in the truck. But you and I were looking at him going, "Well, we heard about it, and there it fucking is. There he is."
Legend.
Right after that, I
total legend.
Yeah, he inspired me there because right after that, my first really touring, really pro gig was Van der Graaf Generator, and they had a Hammond that hadn't been sectioned. It was just one big thing we had to keep replacing the baseboard of it because we would be dragging it everywhere. Yeah, we never thought about making a little dolly, put a couple of wheels on a little dolly. You just drag it.
Drag the fuck of it. I mean, you and I were on stage.
We'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll never forget the look on each of his faces just going, fucking madness. I mean, that is fucking madness. And he was fucking, and that thing moved because he kept on the plywood. Yeah. And it wasn't bumping around, but it went like straight up, like on a fucking sled or something.
Well, they've got to be 500
He had it
pounds.
down. No, he had it down. And I think to finish off with Bazz, because he was a great guy, and as you said, he'd throw a punch now and then. And that fight in Wardour Street was outside the marquee was, to me, the funniest thing. Some guy was looking over the stalls that some chick Mal was talking to. And he comes in the bar area. He's like, "Hey, guys." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "This guy's going to loaf me, and he keeps looking at my chick having a dump." So we all run outside, and there's three other guys. We drag them outside. We're kicking 10 cans of snot out of them. And Bazz had his belt around the guy's neck, dragging him down water.
Choking him by his neck.
But God bless you, Bazz. I love you so much, man. We had some funny shit together.
Yeah.